Hi, and welcome back to ZSRx, the present tense of digital publishing. Digital technology has created an explosion of uh, available content. Ebooks are now everywhere, and the numbers are staggering. The books themselves have changed shape and size and price, which has affected retail and libraries and reading and scholarship and virtually everything we do. Where did all these books come from? There are still really only 5 big publishers. There's lots of little imprints, but traditional publishing output hasn't suffered. They've retrospectively enhanced their backlists often enough. Books nowadays don't really go out of print, they go online. And these folks are mostly happy creating print and electronic books. Meanwhile, a new crop of competitors, you might say, has emerged with ebook only publishing, producing lots and lots of content for targeted e-reading audiences. What to do with all this content? Again, here's where your friendly library will help you out by organizing these collections, by rendering them open, or at least semi-open, and not necessarily expensive access. Can be had still for miles and miles of virtual shelves from your library. Of course, we're all going to be working someday for Amazon, Apple, or Google, as they will continue to digitize everything that they can, and we'll be able to enjoy the fruits of these projects. Alright, that's my cue. I'm going to go on to the open web here, and we will look around. Let's start with the Internet Archive. Are you familiar with the Internet Archive, archive.org? Check it out if you've not had the chance. The Wayback Machine is fun if you're interested in seeing what websites looked like a few years ago. 372 billion of them. Might take a while for you to go through those, so be forewarned. The Internet Archive is a bit of a time suck, but it's got millions and millions of texts, 5 million and growing every day, are available at your fingertips through the Internet Archive in a way that can really help people with research projects or an interest in browsing what is available today. They do a nice job of linking you to this organization called openlibrary.org. Also, check this out. Get a library card. I am logged on here under my account. The library card is free, of course, and anyone can have it. Anyone can have one, and that gives folks access to 1 million free ebook titles, which is plenty. It's also interesting to note that the state of North Carolina, so any resident of North Carolina or any citizen of North Carolina, can borrow lots of books through Open Library. Let's just connect to some of them. You'll see that they are both old, maybe open access, public domain type titles, and new titles as well. Children's books, art books, kids books can all be easily acquired and consumed. Let's take a look at this book just for the fun of it, and it's a pretty good description, pretty good indication of the formats, so I can read this on my Kindle or iPad. I can buy one if I'm interested, but if I want to borrow one, I really just need to click this link that says borrow ebook, and it takes a few seconds, but that wasn't even a few seconds. I'm logged on, I guess, so I didn't have to necessarily authenticate myself twice. And there it is. So I can just read this book all I like. It's about left-handed golfing. You know what? I'm right-handed, so I'm just going to return this book and move on to the next exciting chapter here. Of course, we can't have one of these talks without me talking about Amazon.com. I'm so old, I remember when Amazon.com just used to sell books. Now they sell hair care products and pets and groceries and such, but they still sell a lot of books. If you sneak down to this chart here on the left, I hope you can see my highlighter here. I can hardly believe the number of available paperbacks, say 23 million. That's a lot. Let's look at these Kindle editions just for the fun of it. Some are inexpensive, some are very expensive. I can buy them or look at them as desired. If I want to peek inside the book, I can peek inside the book, and if I'm interested in the book, I can probably get a sample to my Kindle, and maybe that's the first chapter's worth. Maybe that's all I need to know. The other fascinating thing about Amazon.com is that they have this Kindle Owners Lending Library. I'll take a minute here and just read their description. With Amazon Prime, which is $79 a year, Kindle owners can choose from more than 350,000 books to borrow for free with no due dates, including over 100 current and former bestsellers. So, not bad. 350,000 books to choose from for free, to read cover to cover for free with no due dates is a pretty good deal. You can only do it one at a time, you'll find, if you keep clicking, and you can not keep them forever. Of course, you're just borrowing the book, but they're able to take it back whenever they want, is, I think, the catch there. But still, 350,000 books to borrow is way more than your average size public library. So Amazon.com will sell you ebooks, and they will loan you ebooks. And of course, Amazon.com has competition with Apple and their iBook collection, which is gigantic and gorgeous and not inexpensive, but cheaper maybe than print books. This multi-touch environment that Apple Books offers on their heavily pixelated iPads is pretty special, no doubt, and easy to buy if you have a credit card, and easy to study if you have a class. So they're getting pretty interested in the textbook market, is Apple, and get ready to start thinking about reading books on your phone. But yeah, the mother of all ebook collections is that represented by Google. You've seen Google before, but it's worth noting that there's a separate page called books.google.com, and you can search books cover to cover. You can buy books cover to cover, but it's also maybe worth your time to scroll down and read about this Google Books project. It's fascinating. Their goal is to digitize, the written word, and they are getting there. They have digitized millions and millions of books that come from publishers and partners and people, individual people, and from library collections. The library project is massive. We're working with several major libraries to include their entire collections, and they're getting there. I'll show you I'll show you. So let's talk about the HATI Trust. H-A-T-H-I, HATI Trust. HATI Trust is a partnership of academic and research institutions offering a collection of millions of titles digitized from libraries around the world. So if you're lucky enough to be affiliated with one of these research libraries, you have pretty full access to a pretty comprehensive database of all libraries' print collections. I like to look at some of these books on baseball, for example, because I even like to see the little librarian's markings and stamps, and sometimes you see the fingers. Noticed digitized by Google shows up. So they have been involved with libraries from the get-go on these mass digitization projects, and many of those collections are available for you to peruse and study and analyze. Sometimes, though, just search. The newer titles, the copyright materials, sometimes just provide a snippet, and there's a lot to learn about how to get full access to these titles. But keep in mind, your local public library probably has access to a vast collection of ebooks that are available for you to peruse and borrow and read and return. As they say, check them out. They're happy to help with your access issues and your device issues, just like they are with your content. In fact, librarians have been busy creating content on a variety of platforms and can help, create beautiful, distinct multimedia experiences out of the collections in their buildings now, with images and moving images and audio files and such. Wake Forest University, I happen to know, has created an anthology in this platform that is really pleasing to browse through. If you are interested in seeing how to combine formats of articles and texts into an anthology, let's talk more about using platforms that are at our mutual disposal. We'll do that next time. Talk to you soon, I hope. Thank you.